Hi, I'm Natalie, the Sales and Marketing Director for Barrett David Wilson Homes, the Kent division. I'm joined today by Warren from the Mortgage Store. How you doing, Warren?
I'm fine, Natalie. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Good journey down today?
Yeah, it was a lovely journey down. Not as much traffic as I expected.
So here at Barrett David Wilson Homes, we understand there's been a lot of focus on mortgages at the moment, and that can be confusing to our customers. Barrett David Wilson offer a wide range of schemes and incentives to help people move. What have you found the most popular at the moment?
Well, recently there's a new scheme that's come to market called Deposit Unlock.
Right.
It's a lovely scheme and it helps home buyers purchase a property with only a 5% deposit. It's a fantastic scheme. It's opening up to 3 of the largest banks in the United Kingdom are offering this scheme.
Right.
The way it basically works is that the developer like yourselves will contribute a small percentage of the value of the property into an insurance policy to protect the mortgage company, which then will help these customers buy their property with only a 5% deposit.
Sounds like a great scheme, and we're offering that at Barrett David Wilson Developments, and that's generally been the most popular that you've found at the moment.
Recently it has. We've been dealing with quite a few of your developments in the Kent area, and a lot of the properties that we are taking on to get mortgages for are being sold using this Deposit Unlock scheme.
That's great. We've actually got some questions from our customers. Are we okay to go through those with you?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, so can somebody use their bonus, maternity or overtime income towards their mortgage?
They definitely can. Most mortgage companies will allow customers to use all those sources of income to help assess the affordability to help them purchase the property. However, there are certain banks that will not allow them to use 100% of those additional sources of income. Therefore, I would recommend them speaking to one of our advisors to get the correct advice.
Okay, the next one is, do I need to have a 10% deposit? You've obviously just explained you only need a 5% with the Deposit Unlock scheme.
You're correct. It would be beneficial to get a 10% deposit because the way the mortgage companies assess the risk of them giving you the money to purchase the properties, the larger the amount of deposit you are contributing yourself, the lower the risk they're taking, and therefore they will offer you a lower interest rate. But a 10% deposit is normally the minimum deposit unless you're using the Deposit Unlock scheme.
Right, okay. What about if somebody's self-employed? How many years accounts will they need to produce?
Most self-employed people would need to produce at least 2 years accounts.
Right.
However, we do have access to certain banks that will allow us to assess the affordability for a self-employed customer that's only got 1 year's full account. It has to be 1 full trading year, and then we can assess the affordability based on 1 year. Some banks will allow us to use 1 year's trading accounts plus an accountant's prediction of the company's future income that's going to be earned from that company.
Okay. What about if somebody's got adverse? Are there lenders out there that will lend with adverse credit?
There definitely are. There are lenders out in the market that specialize in the adverse credit industry. We at the Mortgage Store would love to help every single customer purchase a property. Every single customer that's showing up to buy one of your properties, no matter what the background is, needs to have a word with us because we can approach very many adverse lenders that will help them.
Okay. Will pensions be taken into account if someone wants a borrowing term for longer than their retirement age?
Yes, that's a good question as well. We find that a lot of customers in the recent years are wanting to purchase properties and they want to extend the term of the mortgage into their retirement years. The reason they want to do this is because the longer the term of the mortgage, the lower the monthly mortgage payment is going to be. Hence, they use their pension income. All we would need from them is a confirmation that they're contributing to a pension or a pension statement to show that they have a pension in place.
Can my benefits be used towards an income?
Yes, definitely benefits can be used, but once again, certain benefits are not allowed to be used. So I would advise customers that are earning benefit income that do have access to their benefit award letter that they discuss their opportunities with us.
Okay. I owned a property abroad but never in the UK. Do I have to pay stamp duty?
Well, this is normally a question that will be answered by the solicitor acting for the customer.
Right.
But the normal general rule is that if you ever owned a property in the world, you are subject to stamp duty land tax.
Right, okay. Can I get a bank loan for my 5% deposit or put it on a credit card?
Not normally, and we wouldn't really advise that, but because taking the bank loan or using the credit card is going to incur additional monthly repayments for you, which might affect your affordability. However, we do have access to certain banks that will consider this as long as the monthly payment that you're making on that loan is assessed within the affordability and it fits the affordability of that mortgage company and it makes it affordable for the customer, then we will allow them to do that.
Okay. What's the maximum number of years I can have a mortgage for?
Most banks will allow a mortgage of 40 years, but once again, this is also needs to be taken into account the age of the customer when they purchase the property. A customer that is 55 or 60 years old will not qualify for a 40-year mortgage, hence speak to one of our advisors and they can suit a mortgage term just for yourself.
So can the bank of mum and dad go onto the mortgage to increase the borrowing, Warren?
Yes, this is definitely one of the latest schemes that are also available to customers. What the banks call this, they call this joint borrower sole proprietor.
Right.
So what happens is the mum and dad will go on to the affordability assessment on the mortgage. However, they will not be registered against the property at the deeds office, which will save mum and dad this liability for stamp duty tax.
So mum and dad can still help.
Mum and dad are always helping.
Well, that's been really useful. Thanks, Warren. Is there anything else that you want to share today that you think will be beneficial to our customers?
Definitely. I think a lot of customers would want to get themselves in a position to be mortgage ready.
Right.
They need to have the correct documentation when they apply for a mortgage. They need to have proof of income. They need to have proof of identity, and they need to have the proof of their deposit, which is the basic documentation they're going to require. They're also going to have a quick look at what their credit history looks like. So it's important, even though we did speak earlier on about adverse mortgage companies, it's better to have a clean credit history.
Yeah.
And you can always check that with your credit files to make sure you've got a good credit history, have the documentation ready, and put yourself in a position to purchase the property of your dreams.
And why is it better for customers to speak to an independent mortgage broker like yourself, the Mortgage Store, than necessarily going direct to their bank?
Well, the advantage of speaking to us over going directly to the bank is that we have access to all the mortgage companies and banks available. If they go directly to their bank, they're only talking to one bank and they're only going to get the position of one bank. Whereas what we will do is we will shop the whole market and find the best deal for them based on all the banks that are available and offering mortgages.
Brilliant, thank you. Well, look, thank you for your time today. As you know, Barrett David Wilson have many developments across Kent at the moment, and we're doing various schemes. The deposit unlock that we spoke about, which is the most popular, along with part exchange, our move maker scheme, and various different incentives that we're offering at the moment to get people moving. I think the message is people still need to move, and at Barrett David Wilson Homes, we'll do everything we can to get them there. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, Natalie.